Imagine a creature so perfectly adapted to its world that it needs neither arms nor legs to be among nature's deadliest hunters. A predator that can taste the air, see in complete darkness, and swallow prey twice its own width. This isn't science fiction, it's the reality of snakes, and their story is written across 160 million years of evolutionary innovation. The world today hosts approximately 4,000 distinct snake species. These limbless reptiles have colonized virtually every landmass on Earth except Antarctica, thriving in remarkably varied environments. Whether dwelling in humid rainforests or arid desert landscapes, snakes represent some of nature's most striking and formidable predators. Yet their current diversity and sophistication emerged through a fascinating evolutionary journey that transformed humble lizards into living masterpieces of adaptation. The story begins not with snakes, but with their ancestors, modest lizards that existed between 160 and 100 million years ago during the late Jurassic and early Cretaceous periods. This was the age of dinosaurs, when massive sauropods and ceratopsians dominated terrestrial ecosystems, reaching unprecedented sizes throughout the Cretaceous. Yet while these giants commanded attention, smaller reptilian lineages were quietly undergoing their own remarkable transformations. The earliest snake ancestors inhabited forested regions across the southern hemisphere. These terrestrial lizards navigated through tangled vegetation, weaving between tree roots and thick undergrowth as they pursued prey like insects and worms. The demands of moving through such cramped environments favored certain body modifications. Through natural selection, some lizard populations gradually developed more elongated, streamlined physiques. Their limbs began diminishing in size, a process that unfolded across millions of years, not overnight as commonly misunderstood. The fossil record reveals fascinating intermediate stages in this transformation. Limb loss occurred asymmetrically, with front legs disappearing considerably earlier than hind legs in most primitive snakes. Najash rionegrina exemplifies this transitional phase. This terrestrial reptile possessed an elongated, flexible body and remarkably wide-opening jaws that exceeded typical lizard capabilities, enabling consumption of substantially larger prey. Despite these snake-like features, Najash retained more primitive anatomical elements, including its sacrum, pelvic girdle, and a pair of small yet functional hind legs. These legs were likely too diminutive for standard walking locomotion. Instead, Najash probably moved primarily through body undulation, wiggling across desert terrain in an early form of the slithering movement characteristic of modern snakes. Its residual hind legs may have served specialized purposes like digging burrows or assisting during reproduction. Another important transitional species emerged from the genus Pachyrhachis, dating to approximately 98 million years ago. Fossil discoveries in marine limestone deposits indicate this creature spent at least portions of its existence in aquatic environments. Pachyrhachis also retained hind limbs alongside lizard-like characteristics, though its legs were even less functional than those of Najash. Across subsequent millennia, these vestigial hind limbs continued shrinking, but never completely vanished in certain lineages. Contemporary boas and pythons still possess internal pelvic bone remnants and small external spurs located near their posterior regions. These subtle structures provide valuable insights into snake anatomical evolution. As the Cretaceous period drew to a close, snakes had evolved into increasingly sophisticated predators, occupying various ecological niches. Then, 66 million years ago, catastrophe struck. An enormous asteroid collided with Earth, triggering the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event. This global disaster eliminated roughly 75% of all species, including every non-avian dinosaur. Snakes possessed several crucial advantages that enabled survival through this apocalyptic period. Their low metabolic demands meant they could endure extended periods without food far better than larger animals. Additionally, many inhabited naturally protective environments, such as underground burrows, shielding them from temperature extremes and hostile weather conditions. These factors allowed snakes to not merely survive, but flourish as ecosystems reorganized. The Age of Giants. Titanoboa. The post-extinction world offered new opportunities. During the Paleocene epoch, Earth's climate turned hot and humid, spurring extensive tropical rainforest growth. These lush jungles teemed with mammals, reptiles, birds, and fish, abundant prey for evolving snake species. Among these predators emerged Titanoboa carajonensis, perhaps the most impressive snake that ever lived. This semi-aquatic behemoth reached an estimated 13 meters in length, making it the longest snake species yet discovered. While sharing numerous traits with modern boas, fossil evidence suggests Titanoboa exhibited behavioral patterns more similar to contemporary anacondas. This massive hunter likely submerged itself in shallow swamps, using the murky water as camouflage to conceal its enormous body. Once prey approached, Titanoboa struck with hooked teeth before deploying its powerful muscular coils to constrict and suffocate victims, a killing method still employed by many modern snake species. Climate shifts and diversification. Earth remained warm throughout the Paleocene and early Eocene before entering a prolonged cooling trend beginning around 50 million years ago. As global temperatures declined, vast forests receded, replaced by increasingly diverse habitats including woodlands, grasslands, and savannas. This environmental diversification drove corresponding diversification in snake lineages, producing wider variations in physical characteristics and hunting strategies. Open grassland environments presented novel challenges. These expansive spaces offered limited hiding spots, making traditional ambush tactics more difficult. Prey species in open habitats also exhibited greater speed and vigilance. In response, certain snake lineages evolved revolutionary adaptations. The ancestors of vipers and elapids developed potent, fast-acting venoms capable of immobilizing and killing prey animals, often exceeding their own size. Rather than slowly constricting victims, these snakes employed lightning-quick strikes, delivering lethal venom through specialized fangs that could kill targets within minutes. Enhanced sensory capabilities emerged to support hunting across varied environments. Pit vipers developed extraordinary heat-sensing organs positioned near their nostrils, enabling detection of infrared thermal radiation. These pit organs allowed hunting in complete darkness by tracking warm-blooded prey through their body heat signatures. The evolutionary timeline for perhaps the most iconic snake feature, the forked tongue, remains somewhat uncertain. While not exclusive to snakes, monitor lizards and certain skinks also possess them. Forked tongues serve a remarkable function. Unlike most animals, snakes don't use tongues for tasting food. Instead, these specialized organs collect airborne and ground-level chemical particles, which are then analyzed by the Jacobson's organ, a chemoreceptive structure inside the mouth. This system provides sensory data enabling snakes to interpret surroundings, locate potential mates, and track prey, functioning essentially as chemical-based navigation. Modern snakes emerge. By the Miocene epoch, beginning approximately 23 million years ago, snakes had acquired most of their spectacular modern features. As climate continued cooling and drying through the late Miocene and Pliocene, ending 2.6 million years ago, open habitats expanded further, particularly benefiting venomous species. Resilient groups like cobras and vipers colonized Earth's most arid regions. The loose, sandy terrain in these desert environments prompted development of sidewinding locomotion, a distinctive movement pattern enabling efficient travel across sand and up steep slopes. Ice Age survival. Before reaching the present day, snakes faced one more major challenge: the Pleistocene epoch's repeated ice ages, which dramatically altered global temperatures and ecosystems. Much of the northern hemisphere transformed into icy tundra and grassy steppes with temperatures too severe for most snakes. Many species concentrated in warmer equatorial regions, while snakes in temperate zones evolved remarkable adaptations. Similar to mammalian hibernation, snakes can enter brumation, a state of seasonal dormancy involving drastically reduced breathing and metabolism, conserving energy through harsh conditions. This adaptation enabled numerous snake species to endure Pleistocene glacial periods. Though another extinction event concluded the Pleistocene, eliminating large mammals like dire wolves and saber-toothed cats, snakes continued thriving into our modern era. A legacy of resilience today, snakes face perhaps their greatest challenge yet. Not from asteroids or ice ages, but from us. Human expansion has fragmented and destroyed countless habitats, particularly across Southeast Asia and South America. We've introduced invasive predators like mongooses into delicate ecosystems, disrupting food chains that took millions of years to establish. Yet even now, snakes demonstrate the same adaptability that carried them through mass extinctions and climate upheavals. They've learned to coexist with humanity in ways both visible and invisible. A garden snake hunting slugs in your backyard, a king cobra navigating the edges of an Indian village, a python warming itself on sun-heated pavement. These are survivors in the truest sense. When you encounter a snake, you're looking at the culmination of an evolutionary journey that spans the age of dinosaurs to the present day. You're witnessing a design refined across 160 million years. A creature that lost its limbs, not through weakness, but through innovation. These serpents sliding through the grass or coiling in the trees are living testaments to nature's creativity. Proof that success in evolution isn't about size or strength alone, but about adaptation, persistence, and the courage to transform completely. In their sinuous movements, we see echoes of ancient forests where lizards first learned to slither. In their heat-sensing pits and chemical-tasting tongues, we witness the power of incremental change over deep time. And in their continued survival alongside humanity, we find hope, a reminder that life, in all its forms, possesses a resilience that even we cannot fully extinguish. The story of snakes is far from over. It continues to be written with every sunrise, in every corner of our shared world.